Hello, we're back with Blunder Picks, and we're at 1002. So, we're no longer looking at mistakes under 1000, but under 1100 ELO. So, let's go ahead and take a look. Find somebody who's 1992. We're going to play E4, and we have the Scandinavian defense. Let's go ahead and take. Oh, and we have Knight F6. So, you might be tempted to play here and try to protect the pawn, but they're going to get the pawn. Don't push it. Don't do anything. Just simply play d4 or get out the other knight. But don't do this because, you know, if they take and then you were to take back their knight, you're activating their queen, and we don't have a knight to kick them away. So it's actually not that bad. But in this variation, we're just going to develop, and we can probably play c4 here. If I go c4, they play knight back, and then we can push, potentially. So let's go ahead, take some central space. In this way, we're not playing knight c3, blocking in our c-pawn. So there's also the extra benefit of that. Now we have two defenders. They have two attackers. We have to be careful here, because if we play a silly move like this, well then we're going to lose the pawn. Now, what black is going to do here is they're going to try and play bishop g4 to remove one of the defenders of this pawn so that they can take it. So I'm thinking here, and after this, we just play this. They'll probably jump in, but then if they take, we have to take with the queen and we get forked. So this is a little bit tricky. What do? Well, we could also just develop here. We develop the bishop protecting the pawn so that if this comes in, we can just play bishop e2. Let's do that. Let's just develop. Now they might hit us with tempo, which is a little bit actually annoying. No, instead they go here. So I could push, but this is protected. So if they take, I can just take, and it's ruined, right? So we have to defend using the bishop. If they take, we take with the bishop, and this has two defenders still. I'm avoiding d5 right now because it might come with some good tempo later on. And now, I mean, our position looks relatively nice. We can always play h3 to try and kick that away, or they can do that. And now we're threatening to damage the pawn structure. Do they care? I don't know. But we have the bishop pair. We have good control of the center. I'm very pleased with this position. Okay, that is a weird move. Yeah, they're like, hey, take me. I want to play with my open rook. Oh, shoot. That's actually kind of funny. I mean, I don't have to take. Taking is probably decent. If I were to guess, I could also play this, pinning the knight, and we would be threatening to play here. So I kind of like queen here, and there's no like takes because this is a pin. Let's put pressure to the pinned piece, and it's an immediate threat because we're threatening to take and win a pawn. But I guess there is rook b2 at the end. Well, no, takes. It comes with check, so if they go here, I take, and if knight blocks, then we can simply protect the pawn. Rook b8, rook b8. Okay, so they push the pawn. They want to play here, but I can take first. It's yeah, it's just losing a pawn, and they block like this. This is expected. I mean, I can just simply go here. I don't think we're getting trapped in any sort of way. I go here, they can go here. Who cares? We just go back. We've secured a pawn, and black's position is not very nice, to be honest. Yeah, we're gonna go here. They might even play rook here. Like, they might just try to attack me. I really don't care. You're here. We do have to be careful. The bishop could be annoying. I could castle, but they're gonna try and like strike in the center. So castles, bishop g7. I could play rook e2. Just plan to play like this, or I could just go here right now. Bishop g2, and then like just play rook d1. Let's just keep it simple. Let's develop our pieces. Yeah, so they're lining up. So for the castle now, I think he can do this, but then takes, knight takes, and there's tactics here. So first, I'm just going to play rook d1, getting off of this long diagonal. And of course, at any moment, they can do this. But they castled. Let's castle. We're up a pawn. We're feeling good. Can always go here to discover an attack. I'm surprised that they didn't play rook f6 earlier, but, you know, I'm not complaining. Okay, the knight's retreating back. I don't really understand that move. Because I have this, and your knight just has to go back here if it wants to get into the game, or you push the pawn. One of the two. Now, they're definitely going to play this, without a doubt. I'm just going to go queen e2, and then we're threatening to go here. Yeah, there's that move. Let's go queen e2, get out of the attack. And now this is strong. Yeah, I mean, I think we just go here, right? We even have this as well. I mean, there's a lot of strong moves. I think this is good, though. They can't push. I would just take that. Yeah, let's go here. Key that they can't come here and tempo the queen. Yeah, and once I trade off their dark squared bishop, we're very, very happy. And I could go check. Check, they go here though. Let's tempo the rook. Tempo, tempo, tempo. We love it. They have to go here. And then we have this. Here, here. I mean, they can trade, of course, but their queen would be hit at the end of that. So if I take, they probably have to just take here. And this seems fine for me. Yeah. Now I could go here. There's a lot of things I could do if I wanted. What do I want to play though? I have this check as well. Let's just trade rooks. I mean, why not? And then let's tempo. Keep the initiative. We always have checks. We have a 3-on-1 over here. We're up a pawn. We just need to convert this game and we're doing solid. Where does the queen go? Queen maybe goes here. Instead it goes there. And I'm going to offer a trade because we're up a pawn. My opponent doesn't want to trade. I mean, I understand why. Why would you want to trade here? If I infiltrate, I actually am going to run into some problems. I would lose this pawn. So we can't quite do that. I could go here if knight back or if queen back, I could give a check. Maybe, but then they just block. Let's go ahead and just make a left. Because I want to infiltrate with my queen. Or with my rook. Okay, if they're going to offer me trades, we'll take trades. Absolutely. And now we can just push pawns. Something like that. Yeah, I think we just push. Check, we step up h2. Let's go here, we attack this pawn. It's protected, but if they were to give a check, then we could take. The point is I want to create a pass pawn over here. Queen moves there. Interesting choice. I do have this. I can just take on e7, and that protects this. The knight is hit. So if they ever move, trying to go after pawns, we would take the knight. They move the knight, but I don't know. This is looking a little bit dangerous. I think I can just play c6. c6, check, we go here. We do need to make sure that they aren't able to create any checkmating threats on us, but I think we can play c6. At the very least, on the next move, I would be able to go like queen d7, offer a trade, protect the pawn. We're trying to push. Yeah, they go check. I don't really care if you take here. Yeah, because how do you stop this? You get behind. Okay, so I can't do that. So if I push, they can get behind the pawn. That's not good. If I go here, they can go here and attack both pieces. This is interesting. I mean, if I go here, I have checks. I don't know if that's good, though. Here, here, knight here. Yeah, it's probably not winning. I could also go to this square and just protect everything. Let's go here. I don't think they can take this. because then I can push. Yeah, but what about this? You don't have any checks. You do have this, though. But when I push the pawn, the queen protects that square. So I can actually just push here. And on the next move, I'm threatening to just promote. I only have a minute and a half, so we gotta play a little bit quicker, but I think we got the dub here. Yeah, so I can just promote because, you know, G2 is held by the queen. It's tricky, and they miss that. So they will be losing a knight, and we got another queen. And now it's just conversion time. So we just got to gobble. If they remove the pawn, we can just jump in with the knight or something. I don't know. Pretty straightforward. We got a minute and a half. Yeah, the king moves, but now we can just go check. And now the king is being hunted out. Let's go check. We probably have some like king up business. These are covered. This is covered. Okay, yeah, now he's creating. Let's go check. He can't come out. Here, 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 and here. Checkmate. Yeah, good game, good game. We played with an 88. My opponent played with a 78. Typical Scandi stuff. And we have a nice position out of the opening. And we just got to play solid. Protect everything. Yeah, this rook b8 business was a little bit weird. And we won a pawn. Protect our pawn, just go back. And now bring our rook, castle. Take more space. Like, everything here is just completely crushing. We get off his dark squared bishop, which was great. Takes, trade everything, basically. And then we're going into this endgame, and this is actually tricky, and we make a mistake here. We should have pushed our pawn, which is not obvious, because it looks like we're walking directly into this. But the point is, there's a check. And the other idea is that after here, like what do you even do? If you just get clumsy, f5. If you take, I mean, you're opening up your king. Apparently that's a mistake. Knight h5. Ah. If you come out, queen f6. If they take, then we're taking here, and it's not good. Not good. Oops, not that, sorry. Here, here, and g4. So that would have been nice, but we just try to make a path for our pawn. And unfortunately, in this position, my opponent, you know, we saw that our queen would be protecting this square. If the queen was not protecting this, this would not be good, because if we promote, we'd get checkmated. But in this case, we're able to take, and yeah. Then we convert, get the checkmates, get the dub. Let's find another opponent. Got e4 on the board. Let's play a Caro-Kann. Are we going to have an exchange? No, they push through. So this is just going to be like an advance, just in a different move order. They'll probably play d4. The point is, we want to get the bishop out of the pawn chain before playing e6. Let's move. But we're going to take. And the reasoning is because I want to play c5 and just try to undermine this. He can play here, takes, and then, you know, go for that. But we're going to first develop, because if he takes, we just develop with our bishop. And we're threatening to win the pawn here. Takes. So he protects that way. So he is threatening to take, so we have to take. And now we're going to get the knight out. No problemo. We have two attackers. So how do you protect it? Gonna slide up maybe. Yeah, but then I go here, and I mean, this looks a little bit meh, if you ask me. Bishop e7, and then like bishop g5 is coming, which would lose an entire piece, so let's not do that. But I'm threatening takes here, and then bishop g5, potentially. So it takes here, here. If the knight was not able to go here, that would be a blunder. Let's go ahead and castle. They also castle. Nah, I'd probably just take, go bishop here. That is probably the right idea. And we can always consider f6 as well. They take with the queen? What? Ain't no way that that is the correct move. But I guess f6 is not possible anymore. Let's go here. I'm threatening to take the pawn. So if they protect, I can take. If they take, I just take. Yeah, that doesn't really stop it. They protect using the queen, but I was just threatening to take the pawn. Now their bishop is under attack. They go back. We're going to slide back. We're going to attack this pawn. And now, let's see. Now we just need to convert. Let's bring the rook to the open file. A lot of the times in the Caro-Kann, this is a very common spot. We were going. I could pin the knight, but does that actually do anything? Actually pin and then maybe here. Yeah, let's pin the knight. We are attacking the knight also. And that's just a rook. So we'll take that. And now let's bring the knight. We attack these things. Knight goes, or the bishop goes all the way back. Makes sense. I mean, I'm simply just going to double up. They're going to kick me away. Yeah. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo. I'm actually going to go here. If they trade, then yeah, we wasted a move playing rook c8 or c7, but we get exactly what we want. It's trades. Yeah, and if they pin us, we're just going to double the rooks, protecting. Oh, I just realized the rook actually, or the knight actually doesn't have any moves. This is a little bit tricky because they could go here, but then I just take. So I don't think they can actually take advantage of it. If they do that, they gave me an escape square, so I can just play here. It was key because the knight was holding this d4 square, so I couldn't escape. But now I can. And they go there. So how do we win these positions? By restricting pieces. I could play here, but then my rook is always restricted to holding that down. Let's play this and then plan for f6. I don't want this pawn to ever be blundered. And then after f6, okay, they don't play that. What are they looking to do? Maybe go here? They go here. Can I do this? They go here, I just move. Yeah, I don't really need to worry about that, I don't think. So let's go ahead and play f6. Takes. And now we have the big boy center. That's a move, maybe? I don't know. Feels kind of wrong. Why can't I just go e5? If they take, we have two connected passed pawns. You should never give your opponent this if you don't have to. And it feels like my opponent's just playing random moves, as if they don't know what to do. I could push. I honestly don't see a reason why I shouldn't push here. Yeah, just kick the bishop all the way back. And then we can just bring the king. We just need to make sure we don't blunder a fork or the pawn. And yeah, I think I just come up. I blundered this. Oh, will my opponent see it? No. Okay. In this position, by actually playing here, there's a pin, and they can take this pawn. Which, you know, it's not crushing by all means, because, you know, we're simply up a bunch of material, but yeah, we don't, like, that's the little subtle things in the endgame that we don't want to be losing. And yeah, that's a nice reroute by my opponent, actually. So maybe I have to admit my mistake and go back. Here, I could take, but then they're taking here. They're taking this pawn. I guess I can just move, but then I have to be careful of forks. So like takes, bishop takes. I have to be very, very careful. Maybe go here. No, I can't go here. Let's just stop his counterplay. Simple as that. Now let's step the king up. And now, let's see. Let's bring the knight back and try to push our pawn. And now it's just going to be over. Once again, make sure we don't blunder any forks. I don't see any. I don't care about the spawn. I just want to promote. I have enough reinforcements to make sure that this does not promote. And mine's just going to be much, much quicker. They can give a check, but my king will just get into the position. And if they do that, we'll just attack the bishop, attack this. In the endgame, you really need to just like, I don't know, be careful of your pawn pushes, because a lot of the times you're just going to help the opponent improve their position. Like now you got check, and okay, now your king is completely cut off. So if I have a check here, it's mate, but you know, simple move. Maybe just even go here. Just attack the bishop again. That's not going to cut it out because I can go here and I'm just threatening to promote now. So you had to keep protecting. We'll just go ahead and sack the rook for the knight, get as many pieces off the board as possible, and give a check. And okay, if they're going to give us free material, we'll take the knight. Or the bishop. I keep calling them knights and bishops. That was a pretty clean game. We played with an 85. My opponent played with a 76. So, yeah, I mean, whenever they play this early, you know, push through, no worries. Just get the bishop out, play e6. Captured. Strike. And then, you know, we take when it's needed. And then here, we actually have a win. Attacking this pawn and this pawn. Fair enough, but simple moves. We just go here, castle. And we're already completely winning after queen b6, but I thought queen b6 they could protect, right? I was just thinking this. Knight takes. Oh, but we're just adding in another attacker too. Right. Anyways, they blundered the pawn, and in the Caro-Kann, like you see, we're only up one pawn, but in the Caro-Kann, if you lose one pawn, the computer just gives you such a huge advantage, and you just saw like how easy it is to just convert. It's super simple. We use the C file, and our pawn structure is beautiful. We just have a pass pawn, push it, promote, win. This is why I love the Caro-Kann, and especially at this level, like people will blunder the pawn in the center of the board a lot of times, and you're just gonna get crushing positions. And yeah, I mean, also it helped that my opponent hung a rook, but yeah, look at this. We just threaten to double up, bring the knight in, double up, go back. Computer's already saying sacrifice. If takes, I mean takes, and there's this at the end. I was looking at sacrificing, but I didn't see that. So we got this, just improve our position. We got a bunch of passed pawns in the center of the board, and now we just bring the king. Also here, yeah, we blundered this. It's still completely winning, but yeah, there was no need. And this was actually a nice maneuver by my opponent, finding it. And then here, it just says go here. Don't care about this, just move. Just fair. We went passive, not really the greatest choice always, but. And then yeah, here we can, if you're ever in a situation where you're about to promote and your opponent has pieces left and you have like a rook, just sack the rook for it because you're gonna get a queen. And then simple. Discovery attack, we're picking up the bishop. We can convert this. Okay, we found Thor. All right. Let's go ahead and play a Caro-Kann. And this time we have two pawns in the center and the advance right away. We're going to strike with c5. There's a few moves they can take. They can do this. On this move, we play knight c6. They have bishop here. They have knight out. I mean, they can take. If they develop the knight, we just go ahead and pin. And now they're going here. So what's the big deal? I think we can just take, play e6. Let's just go e6. If they take, we just take with our bishop here. No big deal. And if they capture our knight, we just take back. If they do this, we're going to go ahead and take, and then take on d4. They'll take here, and then we're going to play this move c5, trying to really undermine the pawn structure. Okay, they go here. And I think I can take, but I could also go here. And if takes, we go here. Or takes here, bishop takes here. We also have a check. I don't think the check does much though. Let's go ahead and capture. It'll leave them with a weak pawn here, which I am a-okay with. And looking out for checks for them. I don't think there's anything great. Let's go ahead and play knight e6. And now we just have a pass pawn here for the rest of the game. Let's go here. I went here instead of c6 so that, you know, the queen is kind of a little bit blocked out. Here might be a little bit better because it does apply pressure, but I think this is just going to be a weakness the entire game anyways, so I'm in no rush to pick it up. Yeah, they protect. Do we need to really rush with taking? Probably not. Let's develop our bishop and castle. Like, also another reason would be to stop this move, because if they played queen to g3, it could be very annoying to deal with. They're getting really aggressive here. Interesting. I'm just going to take now and then castle. And I think our position is just much better. Much, much better. I also had this, which would have been a nice move, but they just go here. Okay, but now we can just activate our pieces. Gonna go here, we attack this, we attack this. They just autopilot this move, but that just hangs this. So that seems very weird. Let's take the pawn. Of course they can attack us. Of course. There's no way that that's an actual tactic, is it? I just take. Okay, I think my opponent's playing a little bit of hope chess here. A little bit. If I would go here, takes, takes, rook takes, takes. And it's not going to work out. So I don't really know what my opponent's trying to do here, but let's see. I mean, I can just play bishop here, and we attack this pawn. Let's go ahead and do that. I don't really think there was a need to sacrifice. Although I am seeing what they're threatening. They are threatening to take this rook, and if I were to take back, they have a back rank checkmate. So we do need to be a little bit careful in this position. Little bit careful. If I go here, let's go here. Let's keep the eye on this. But I also want to really be attacking this square so that I can try and have a mass trade-off. That's what I want. I don't think they can sack the rook anymore because after, or sack the queen. After queen takes, rook takes, they can go check, but then I just take. So it's not going to work. We control this square way too many times. But this configuration is quite scary, not going to lie. But I was a little bit of hope chess by my opponent. Which rook do we go with? Probably this one. Let's go ahead and do that. And we will be getting some trades here. They move the queen. But let's just go ahead and trade. And, I mean, why not trade more pieces? They don't want the trade. Understandable. I do have a check. And I think we're going to be able to checkmate or something. Should be able to just go check. They're going to have to step here. And then we'll go give a check. And I guess they can block. What about a check? Let's give a check here. And then we should be able to give a checkmate on the back rank with the queen. Because they can't go here, so the only legal move is queen e1 or king e1. Or I guess they have that. We go here. And now we could simply trade. But we can also just win the queen. So I'll opt to win the queen. Noticing that the back rank is not attacked. Yeah, so my opponent notices that, there is back rank problems, but we take with check. And now what my opponent is hoping for is me to blunder back rank mate, but we have mate in one. Unfortunately for my opponent, played with a 93. My opponent played with an 80. Mm, yeah, I mean, this is just typical Caro-Kann stuff here. Reroutes, they gave up the bishop here. I mean, they just weakened their king too. No need for it. Castle, queen out, takes, and they sacrificed a knight for no reason. They thought that they had some counterplay here. And yeah, I mean, we just simply trade everything off. You're up material, and we have a mate in two if we play this first. Yeah. Yeah, that's a little bit better, but anyways. All right, let's go again. We found, or nah. Or nah. We have the black pieces, and my opponent's just playing e3. Okay, this is very, very odd stuff. I mean, I always see these openings. I'm like, what do I do? Well, that's where we go back to opening principles. If you can put two pawns in the center, do it. They're striking in the center. Okay. So they're threatening to take, and after takes, this pawn will be under attack due to the knight and the queen. But this pawn is also just straight up attacked. So we have two choices. We can push or we can take. And I think we're just going to go ahead and take. If queen takes, then we can probably just like play here, protecting, or we can just develop a piece. So let's go ahead and capture. I don't really want to push. It leaves me with a weaker pawn. And now, time to just develop and get our pieces out. And now this is just a French defense, I guess. According to the engine. Yeah, we can put the bishop on e6 because the knight is protecting it now. They might give us a check. No, they go here. I was expecting them to play knight f3 and then maybe potentially setting up some kind of Greek gift. Let's just go ahead and castle. And, knights usually like to go here, but in this case, we're going to keep our pawns nice and solid and safe. And now, we have pretty simple plan. We can just like play queen to c7, attacking the pawn. They'll have to protect it, get the bishop out, knight out, and our position's relatively solid. So they can do a few different things. They could block like this. They could push the pawn. Yeah, okay. My opponent's not really thinking about what my threats are, so let's go ahead and capture the pawn with check. And now we might even be able to jump in. And then they do this. Doesn't really feel needed. We can just go all the way back. No worries. We got a pawn. I'm not really afraid of their, b4, b5 plan. No worries. Okay. Now they're like, yeah, we don't want nothing coming in here, but that's really weakening. Like I could probably play this. They go here, or just like this seems pretty good. And if they go here, maybe we just take. If they were to take, knight coming in, there's a lot of really nice moves here. I feel like we just gotta go here. If they're gonna push the pawn, like, I don't know, your king's just gonna be butt naked. But like, what do you do? Because I'm threatening to go bishop to f3, and that is a check on the king. It's not gonna be very fun. Yeah, okay, they preemptively stop that. That's a good move by my opponent. I could also start to try and just open up their king. But let's be principled. Let's just keep developing our pieces. And at the right moment, like when I play rook e8, I might have knight e4, and if they were to take, I take, they take. We would take back, and there's a lot of pressure. Obviously, they would have a fork in that position, but, you get the idea. Okay. I have a feeling like my opponent doesn't really know what they want to do here, because they're just pushing this pawn. I don't care if they take, not one bit. Let's just put the rook on the open file. Yeah, okay. I mean, I can always push too. If they were to take, I take. Or knight takes. Okay, sure. We'll acknowledge my opponent here. If they take, we'll take with the knight, attacking the bishop. It's just this plan is just helping me improve. They have other problems that they need to be dealing with, which is like this bishop's not even developed, and their pieces just are bad. Let's take here. So this is under attack. If this gets removed, then the knight's gonna be loose. This knight's gonna be loose. Also, just opening up this diagonal for my pieces is not a good idea in my opinion. I could go here, but then takes. I can just take this though. I take here, they take here, I take here. I don't know. My pieces are just better, and they're opening up so many lines for my pieces. Maybe trading all these pieces off is not like the best plan, but we're up a pawn, so trading is not that bad. Okay, this move is strong, without even a doubt, because if we remove the defender of this bishop or this knight, we can capture it. If they go here, we just take. If they do that, we can just go ahead and capture. The knight is still attacked. This is still a thing. They, of course, can play this, but we just take it with check and then take the piece, and we're up 2 pawns and a safer king. Okay, that I think makes matters worse because I can just take here with pawn. I guess they're going to take this way. I guess that's their idea. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And this check's not possible. I could go here, but I don't know. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? Maybe we do this. Let's offer more trades. Because if I get more trades, we're just simply up a piece. So, what do we do when we're up material? We trade into a winning, simple endgame. Because the more pieces that are on the board, the easier it is to lose. And, oh, I thought we had tactics, but we actually don't. Funnily enough. Takes, check. He can just take it. He can just take. So. We can't do that. I could offer a queen trade. That seems pretty reasonable. Let's go ahead and do that. He could probably play here. And then maybe I'll go here. Or even here, rook takes. No, the queen comes in. All right. That is an attack. Oh, I have 2 pieces hanging. I guess I can go all the way back. That's kind of a concession. I didn't really want to play this, but... Alright. See, this is why you want to trade off material as quickly and efficiently as possible. Because your opponent is also going to try and win. So they're going to make complications like this. And hope that you mess up. And next thing you know, you've blundered a fork. You know? So, with that in mind, offer queen trade. But you don't want to force it. Like, sometimes you just can't get the trade. And that's okay. But, you know, in this case, it's like, I gotta move the queen. If I go here, I don't know. I am attacking the pawn, but do I really want to open that up? Probably not. So, just retreat. We still have 1 rook to activate. We probably should have already done that. They go there, and now, you know, we can probably go here, but then we gotta think, like, where are they gonna move the knight? And also, if I go here, are they gonna play rook here? Probably. So, keep it simple. Let's take a hold of the open file. And maybe I have ideas of, like... Okay, that move is interesting. I mean, I'm not really afraid of them taking. So I'm just going to kick their knight away. If they want to trade, I'm happy to. And yeah, I mean, their idea is obviously to play rook here, but it's not a big deal. I just get out of the way, and I mean, if they trade, then we're happy. We've already been over this. And also, I put the queen on f6 so that, you know, if they try to double or something, they actually blunder a rook. Okay, once again, simply just, we're going to take. Maybe not the best move, but it's what we're going for. And then we're going to play queen here. No. Let's go here, offer a trade. They actually trade into this? Wow. Okay. Rook takes. That's interesting. They must really think that they have something with that. Fortunately, they don't. We can just go here. And we're going to win this pawn. Or not. Anyways, it's blockaded. So that's all we need. And now I have a sneaky move if they leave this configuration, which they don't. We need to activate our king now. They're going to push pawns. Notice the pin here. So this is actually a free pawn due to the pin. And we'll just go back. Because whenever they have passed pawns like this, we want to make a blockade so they can't push. And yeah, in this situation, we're going to take, and we're going to take here. And they want to push, but we're able to still blockade. There's no way that they can get through. If there was, well, then maybe I'd be a little bit, you know, cautious. Now they're attacking this pawn, so I pushed it. It's protected by the knight. They want to go check. I mean, I can just bring the king up. If they come in, we can just keep going. Everything is totally winning here. No worries. We just can't take, because then we would blunder the knight. So let's not do that. Let's see. If I push, they get behind it. Just protect. And my opponent's slow on time, so. Yeah, I mean, I can go here and push. And then we'll just get the knight involved. And we don't really care about this, because this pawn's going to be the key asset. They decide to take, because they can't come back. They can give checks, but we'll just take. If they do that, they can't actually stop it, because the pawn holds the square that the rook would need to come to. So we're actually just promoting, and that is GG's. We played with a 91. My opponent played with an 82, so my opponent played very well. We're starting to get to the point where there's not like one move blunders of pieces every single game, which is nice. So we started off with, you know, well, my opponent played E3, and then this somehow transposed into like a French defense, but okay, so pushing through is actually the best, but we just take. And now we develop, keep everything solid. And then my opponent, I don't know what they were thinking here. They just threw the pawn forward and they just hung the pawn. So after I played queen to c7, they needed to be like, what's the threat here? And the threat is, you know, this pawn is weak and I have a battery. Always, always, always be careful whenever your opponent has a battery set up, because it's very powerful. And then we just come all the way back. We took a pawn, get out of there. And then, yeah, I mean, just develop, bring the rook to the open file, push through. This is the best move. I mean, there was really no need to let them take and then open up this file for counterplay. So push through, develop, improve my knight. And it's also opening up, you know, this diagonal where the king is. We take, push, takes. And my opponent's just losing a piece here outright, because this is defended twice, but we're attacking one of the defenders, so if they were to move, we can just capture. And then, yeah, I mean, props to my opponent for keeping the pieces on the board and not just trading into a completely losing endgame. in this position, we had this, which is actually really, really nice. A little bit scary, though, because they might be able to play something like this. And also, if we ever take, they can just take the bishop. So I like what we did. Just go back. Go back. And here, we don't care if they take. We just slide away. Trade more pieces. Come in with the queen. And now they trade. And once you get this position, this makes it so much simpler. And yeah, we just create threats, blockade the passed pawn so they can't push it. And then always be on the lookout for little tactics like this. Like whenever, there's pins. This will 100% step up your game. They push, we just take, no worries. We took a free pawn. We didn't need to, but, I'm human. I like pawns. And now we start pushing our pawn, and notice that the king cannot come and try to stop it because the rook has the king cut off. So this pawn is extra, extra powerful because the rook has to be guarding it. So once I get it off, we can start pushing. And their best try is to take and let me push. They can go here, they can give a check, but it's over. Well, they can't go here because I would just take and then promote, but you get the point. And yeah, now they can't play this because I just take and promote. So yeah, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.